Doesn't sound like I'm patronizing you, but I feel like I want to give you a little congratulations if you've made it this far in this little series. If you're looking ahead to this, I would say, third phase of your personal alchemy, of your healing journey after going through a tough challenge or transformation, this is the stage where things start to get, I don't want to say easier, but perhaps more enjoyable is the way to put it. Again, none of the healing phase necessarily is linear, right? So there still can be ups and downs. I mean, there will be ups and downs throughout our lives. But this stage, it's more about focusing on the self in terms of growth, less in terms of maintenance. The first phase of this process, this alchemical personal process or this healing journey, is always validation. And then we move to more foundational work, making sure that we're okay, making sure that we are fed, rested, that we are caring for ourselves. We're developing coping strategies. And in this phase, we are really focusing on ourselves through the lens of growth, through the channel of transforming through this process. If phase one is a crumbling and really letting those waves hit us and letting ourselves feel all the feels, phase two consists more of sorting through the pieces, looking at what happened, making sure that we are okay through the event, through the aftermath of that storm. And phase three is a little more about challenging ourselves, giving ourselves confidence and motivation, and celebrating ourselves to overcome, to push through, to rebuild, to alchemize this experience. One area of this being building your self-confidence or rebuilding your self-confidence. One of the ways we can do this is set small, achievable goals, keep track of them, and celebrate ourselves for those little accomplishments. They really add up, and it's important to reinforce that feeling of achievement in ourselves. Celebrating these small victories reinforces our self-confidence, our perspective on ourselves, and this whole process, and can give us a sense of accomplishment that is really needed during this time. Like, we need the wins, so let's give ourselves them. Let's set ourselves up for success there. In regard to self-confidence as well, we have to stand up for ourselves and challenge our own negative thoughts. This is a big one for me. I find myself needing to do this quite often. I still have that little voice that comes in that says something in absolutes, like this will never happen, this always happens. It's very black and white thinking, it's negative, and it's a little bit of like self-bullying in a way. So identifying those, that voice, reframing that message, challenging yourself there, challenging that voice, replacing self-doubt with positive affirmations, stating that you believe in yourself, reminding yourself that you've done this many, many times before and you always get out of it, or you always come out on the other side stronger. Remind yourself of the evidence of all your strength, all your wins, and don't be afraid of that inner talk, that voice in our head, because we're the ones in control. That voice, I've been working on this for a long time. That voice doesn't seem to go away, but I am much stronger in challenging it now. And I know that if this is a problem for you or an area, then you can overpower that voice as well. Another area is to find meaning, find purpose, reestablish connection with things that are meaningful to you, or reconnect, almost reboot in a sense, but I don't know if that's the right term for everyone. But with your passions, with what is purposeful to you, what feels most aligned, your values, your interests, and engage with that. Engage with what brings you joy, engage with what is meaningful to you. For whatever reason, maybe we're kind of forced to, or maybe it just sort of happens. I think it's different in every case, but the things that are meaningful to us seem to take a back seat, and our focus on the issue that we're experiencing, or perhaps the issue itself, demands so much attention from us that we can't focus on the things that bring us joy, it just seems to fall away so easily. So really establishing that connection, maybe even reworking it or reminding yourself of this in a fresh perspective can be very helpful for connecting with like your authenticity, your truth, really knowing yourself, really appreciating yourself, and having a strong sense of identity of who you are. I don't mean that in a limited, put yourself in a box kind of way, but I hope you know what I'm trying to say there. Another area which you could find a lot of meaning and purpose is being of service to others. Volunteering, sharing your story, even just being on message boards and just trying to help people who have gone through a similar experience as you. This obviously provides a great sense of connection, but it also can tie to purpose. Things start to get a little fun here when we feel confident, we feel secure, we feel a sense of clarity of sorts where we're able to create our vision for the future. This can be visualizing your goals, thinking about what you want your life to look like. I would highly suggest writing your vision down as well, focusing on it as often as you can, really to help solidify that or begin to really feel what it feels like to trust in this vision for your future. You can even create a vision board or even clean up your social media, maybe remove some stuff that isn't serving you that pops up into your feed. But what I mean more so is follow things that inspire you. You know, if you like design, if you like looking at beautiful old houses or gardens or travel or baking things or art shows, like whatever you're interested in. You know, I'm kind of sharing things I'm interested in, but curating, you know, what you're seeing in the day. It just really helps me anyway to like focus on my goals or to focus on the feeling or the visual elements of what I want in my future and what I can sort of feel in the present as well through that. Move on to create a plan for that as well, a map, so to speak. Outline the steps to achieve your goals and break them down into more manageable tasks. Again, remember, like, set yourself up for success, help yourself out, give yourself increments, give yourself little touchstones, give yourself wins, and bring that into your plans for the future. This gives you a sense of a roadmap, a sense of direction when it comes to your personal growth. In this third phase, I think that embracing the change is certainly very important here as well. Perhaps accept or even just acknowledge that change is an aspect of life, and if we can shift our perspective, it can become an invaluable, you know, and a necessary, obviously, aspect of the life experience. Working to accept, embrace, this new reality, this new life, even when it's difficult, is really empowering and, again, just transformative, alchemizing. A huge aspect that helps us get through change, especially when it's difficult, is seeing ourselves as adaptable, cultivating resilience, being open to change, even though it's difficult, can really help us to navigate life's experiences. I say that, of course, with compassion and with love, because when it's a tragedy of sorts that we've gone through, when it is something, when we'd have to witness someone we love in pain, or we're presently experiencing pain, it's not like I want to tell you, oh, you know, well, this will make you stronger, like just chin up, you know. That's really not the energy I'm trying to bring here. I just want to, you know, remind you that you are empowered, that you can transform the situation by transforming our perspective on it. So whatever we can do to empower ourselves, in my humble opinion, is the way to go, you know? So even the hardest experiences of my life, I have to allow my mind flexibility and adaptability to view the situation once I've gone through the healing, you know, not right away, but once I've gone through it, and I have a little more peace, I have a little more stability to witness the experience from the observer perspective. And even though I wouldn't sign up to do it again, let's say, I can look at it from the view of for whatever reason, even if I don't understand, this gave me more depth. This gave me more experience. This is a rite of passage in some bizarre way, perhaps. Again, I'm not saying that's how you need to feel about it, but that helps me. Another step in this phase 3 aspect is continually growth and reflection on your progress. I don't think that you need to put this in the calendar for yourself. I think this will naturally come up for you, but I'd love for you to be able to identify that opportunity to reflect on your progress. This might be, let's say you're helping someone or you're sharing your story and they're in a different stage of a similar experience. You being able to help or to provide some insight or some perspective can support us in reflecting, I remember when I was there. I remember when I was feeling like that, and now I'm feeling like this. And I can see the growth, I can see the movement, I can see the unfolding or the development through this journey. Journaling is a great way, of course, to reflect on your growth, reflect on the process, new learning opportunities, even seeking out new learning experiences can be a big support in this phase of healing, whether that's books, a course, a workshop, a retreat, even if you can swing it. Opportunities that essentially further your personal development and just kind of teach or expose us to different ways of understanding our lives. It's important as well to make sure that we build a supportive environment for ourselves. I don't want to be all live, laugh, light, or, good vibes only, but I don't think there's anything wrong with surrounding yourself in positivity. Building a supportive network of friends, mentors, teachers, resources, people, or even content or art for that matter, that uplifts you, that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel inspired, that makes you feel encouraged, to continue and to, at the risk of sounding corny, shine your light, be authentic, be true to you, and embrace your life fully. And I think that I have to also mention here that means limiting your exposure to negative experiences. Again, set yourself up for wins. Set yourself up for a clear head, for a positive mental outlook. I love downer music. My favorite artist of the last year, let's say, has some of the most sad and tragic lyrics, but I love it. I love listening to it. I love the melody of it. I love the tempo, but I really have to limit it. I really have to. And I have made a very challenging, actually, but conscious effort to make sure that at least half, if not more, but half minimum of the music that I listen to, because I'm always listening to music. I always have music on if I'm doing the dishes, if I'm driving, if I'm taking a walk, if I'm at the gym. I listen to music a lot if I'm reading. So I had to make a very conscious effort. My impulse is to go to this really sad, dark, kind of, it's so good, but I have to stop and switch over to things that have no lyrics. That's kind of the best thing for me, no lyrics. And even when I really want to listen to artists that I love that are a little more depressing, I consciously, out loud, change the lyrics in my head. So I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but if I love the melody and if just the way that the song goes, and it just, I don't know, I just love it, I change it, so it's super positive. It's been known to cause infection. It's I've been known to heal infection. I've been known to heal. So whatever it is, I'm just making sure that I'm setting myself up. I'm not letting the negative influences, even if it's something I really enjoy, who doesn't love true crime? Who doesn't love, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we're really drawn to these things and we're so entertained by them or whatever, but it's really not healthy. I'm sorry, it's not healthy for us. So really being mindful to limit your exposure there. is so helpful. You won't notice it that day, but you will notice it in the weeks to come, the influence that that has. Another element here of like creating that supportive environment is creating a space, or even if you're not creating it, like designating a space that you can go to that you feel relaxed. Maybe that's your bedroom, maybe that's a rocking chair, maybe that's the stoop, out front of your house. Maybe that's taking a walk down a beautiful canopied street. Maybe that's your garden. It could be your bathroom, but a place that to you means relaxation, a place that to you represents mindfulness, or that when you enter this space, like it's about you. I'm focusing on myself here. This isn't a place where I'm going to stress myself. I'm going to mind my thoughts. I'm going to reflect. I'm going to listen to more uplifting music or whatever, but a place that encourages you, to feel good, or that you can go to heal. If you don't have a space like this, or nothing comes to mind, or even if it does, I would also suggest, especially if you're open to like meditation and shifting consciousness, to do some form of meditation, whether that's guided or that you just do on your own. Like, you don't need a guide necessarily, but to create a healing space or a reflective space in, let's say, the dream world or the astral realms or the subtle realms, a place in your imagination that you can go to time and time again. I have several of these places for myself. I have a sort of like wooden not gazebo, but something like a gazebo in the woods. It's always night there. I can smell the cedar. It's a place where I might host healing sessions if I'm doing like distance Reiki or something, or I'll just go there myself and like sit by the river, the water, the stream, and listen and know that this is like a healing space for me. I also have a space that's sort of like a little apartment, like attic, loft sort of space, where I have like cupboards of like magical items, anything I could possibly think of. I do that personally for relating to correspondence. So, I might think of, oh, I want my baby teeth, and I want to focus on that for healing my inner child. I don't know. I just made that up just now, but just as an example, you can create any space. And I also have a space that's like under the ocean, in the deep, deep depth, that I focus on if I'm doing some sort of like really deep meditation work and kind of trying to connect with what's beyond everything. Like, nothing can even describe it because nothing is a thing. I don't know, that's kind of heavy, I guess. And then I also see myself in like caves filled with crystals where I just lay there and let the earth heal me. Sorry, that's a little probably too much information for my personal meditations, but what I'm trying to say is that you can use meditation to create these spaces as well. So don't feel pressured. Let's say if you live with your family and it's always loud and you don't have any privacy, or if you're a parent with little kids who are always hanging on you and you feel like you have no space, I really hope you can create some space, but also know that you have your mind, like you have your imagination, you have the ability to shift your consciousness to incredibly healing spaces, set intentions for yourself. Again, guided meditations can help you do this if you're feeling less than creative or if you're new at it. And I will say too, as you build these spaces and as you revisit them, they become more rich, they become more detailed, they become, forgive me for putting it this way, but like more concrete. So it's something that you can certainly benefit by, returning to and spending some time in. And our last step here that I have for you in this whole series is to celebrate yourself and celebrate this journey. I know it's hard in the beginning, that's why we don't talk about it in phase 1 and phase 2, but celebrating your progress, celebrating your wins, celebrating yourself for, again, getting through another really tough time just like you have every other time before. And practice gratitude, cultivate gratitude, whether that is a gratitude meditation, whether that is a gratitude journal, whether that is an alarm that you set on your phone to just remind you, hey, stop and think about 10 things that you're grateful for. Journaling prompts, however you can, but just cultivating that gratitude practice really helps to shift the focus to the positive aspects of life, fosters a sense of appreciation, and is incredibly healing and magnetic. Like, it is a manifesting state. It is a good things are coming state. It is a I'm happy where I am now state. I'm grateful for my growth. I'm grateful for my strength. I'm grateful for the depths of my soul and the contrast within me. I'm grateful I can help others. I'm grateful I can authentically connect and empathize. I'm grateful to be able to hold space. I'm grateful for this lesson. I'm grateful for this compassion. There's so many things, of course, unique to you and your direct experience here, but there's so many things to support you in really putting the like cherry on top, or the last layer on the cake or whatever. I don't know, sorry, bad analogy perhaps, but that final healing moment, like, I can appreciate this. I have so much to appreciate. I can accept this. I can acknowledge this. I can, and I have shifted myself to now being in this state. Look at me go. Like, look how far I've come. So while healing and transformation is not a linear process, of course, things can take time, and they certainly require patience. Not putting pressure on yourself, not shaming yourself. It's important that we are compassionate with ourselves on this journey through these experiences. Please remember that seeking help is a sign of strength, and everyone's path to recovering from an event or an experience is unique. I really believe that in this little series there are some steps that will support you. I hope that there is, and if you ever feel lost or on another experience, I hope you know that you can return to your own methods, of course. But if you're feeling lost and it's helpful to have a reminder, you can always return to these videos. Be patient with yourself, but remain committed to your growth and your healing and your personal alchemy. Thank you so much for allowing me to share a little piece of your path, and thank you so much for being a big part of mine. From the bottom of my heart, I wish you nothing but the very, very best.